Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. Oh my gosh, look at my bench. Got everything on here. So the best way to tidy up a dirty bench is to put more stuff on top. So let's do that. Being Temu Tuesday, we got this one. We got this one. Feels heavy. We got some gas struts for the bonnet. If you haven't seen that video, that was one I did last week. Putting gas struts on a Toyota Hiace makes it easier just to, when you're checking oil, pop the bonnet, goes up, very nice. And, oh, another one. Not the pinning kit. Alright, it's my own fault. It's a mess. It was a shit pinning kit anyway. Alright, let's see what we got this week. Oh yeah, and I've got to still yet do a review on this little tool, a latch tool. I'll have to do that video soon. Alright, let's see what we got. Late night shopping on Temu. Alright, so shoes. They had these shoes and they got this like back to the future style turning here. Shoelaces are a thing of the past. How do you release it? Pull up, there we go. So you pull up, push down, these little cables pull it all together. Yeah, they look like they've got an extra size bubble or just a wide footprint. Yeah, they look okay for 30 bucks. We've got steel caps. Okay, we can wear them on a job site. Awesome. So we've got steel caps. They look kind of nice. I'll have to do a review and let you know. We've got a few little stickers in there. 30 bucks, I thought I'd give them a go. And these quick releases, maybe they're nice. We've got some reflective material there. So, okay, we'll give them a go. I mean, I do like my graphite shoes, but they stopped selling them now, so I thought I'd give these a go. Ooh, and they even included shoelaces. I don't see the point, I guess, if this breaks, but anyway. Oh, some instructions. Instructions. They've got steel caps, see? Got steel caps, very nice. They talk about these steel caps multiple times. Multiple times. Alright, cool. Alright, let's push them aside. They're just shoes. Nothing flash. Alright, what do we got here? What do we got? What do we got? We got a drill bit. Is this one of those special drill bits? It is. Oh no, that just looks like a glass drill bit. Alright, so these drill bits were meant to be drill through anything. Drill through masonry, brick, wood, and it just keeps going, going, going. But to me, that looks nothing better than a glass drill bit or a masonry head with a triangle on the top. The reason I got this one is because if anyone's been fitting 001s lately, you know that in the frame, you've got to drill through metal and then into concrete, 40 MPa concrete, bluntens just about anything. So to fit a 001 in a metal frame, you need something to get through the frame. And metal frames that are filled with concrete can be an absolute nightmare. So I got this and I thought I'd give it a try. You know, they call it the Wonder Bit and all the rest. To me, it looks like cheap rubbish. I don't think it'll last more than 3 or 4 holes, but we'll find out. Alright, a lot of something in here. Oh, nutserts. You can't have too many of these. What these do is, these are like a pot rivet. You drill a hole in metal, you put them through, they expand, they bring the 2 pieces of metal together, giving you a lot of pulling strength. So they're awesome for when you're kitting out your van, which we'll be doing another van shortly. So when you're kitting out a van, you got to remember there's times you're going to have to drill into like the body and you want something to attach to. So you drill a hole, you put these in and they give you an internal thread so you can mount your bolt. So I think they're M10. Okay, you can never have enough of them. I go through them quite a bit when decking out a van, so dun, 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 dun. Oh, okay. So it's that same rubbish, but more of it. And to be honest with you, the head on them, unless they're some magical material that's nothing more than just a drill bit, and most likely cheap metal, but they look really good, and I'm going to be interested to see how these actually go against the metal frames. Alright. Oh, more of those drill bits, 4mm. And the best part about these ones is that when you're fitting and using an impact driver like I do, they've got the hex on the back. See the hex with the ball bearing? And they're 4mm. And these are meant to be the anything drill bits. And to look at it, it's like a 4-way posi tip. Okay, we're going to need to do a video on that. Going to need to do a video and test that one, this one, and then a couple of these ones to actually see if they can even cut through sheet metal and then 40 MPa and what's left of it, how many times we get out of it. looking. It's a bit like a birthday or a Christmas, but it's all self-induced. This is what happens when you late night shop. Everything looks good. Alright, we've got ourselves another little plastic kit. DC walls. I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I remember purchasing this. So this is a nutsert. So these tools here, these ones here, go on the end of this. This is the smaller grade. Of course, this metal won't be as good as what you buy from your local, but basically you put these on the end, and then you put it on the end of your impact driver, and then it pulls it, mushrooms this part out, so that they stick into the metal. Yeah, okay, cool. That'll be another video on that, just to see if that works. I've got an air compressed one, I've got a hand crimping one, but I thought it'd be nice just to have a lightweight one, especially for some of the small sizes. Lightweight one just to do M4, M5, because they're really handy, M4, M5. Alright, getting there. What's behind bag number 3? Okay, so we have some plastic clips. So these are trim clips. They're basically just little plugs, and if you purchase the wrong ones, you actually have to go out and purchase the right ones. And that's pretty much what I did. I purchased the wrong size, and then I had to purchase the next ones. For the Toyota, they're coming up at like 8 or 9 mil, and a lot of these standard clips, especially the older ones, they're coming in like 6 or 7. So if they're not wide enough and the little barbs don't hold in the hole, you need to get the next ones. And they're also good for automotive trimming. They're good for door cards, putting them on. So I've got a whole box going now because I've purchased wrongly a few times, and I'm basically making up a kit. These are also good. They're pretty much good for automotive trimming and door cards, lots of things like that. You drill a hole, you just put it in. It's got like little fins on the side, goes ting ting ting, and it holds them in. A lot of bumper bars now, and a lot of like little automotive plastic are held in with them. So good to have them. And I'm building up like a little kit of them. Another heavy one. Okay, washers. You can never have enough washers. Every time I go to Bunnings, I get these little tiny packs, and it costs me $8 to $9. You pick up a bag like this, and this is a really good size here. So washers, yeah, they're definitely worth it. Those washers there, I think they're like a 6 mil hole, and it's probably at least a 25 mil by at least a mil and a half. So, yep, I'm happy with them. Ooh, little washers. You got to love little washers. Little washers come in handy for locksmiths, especially when we're packing out a mortise lock or something along those lines. Put a couple of little washers, or even electric strike, moving electric strike out, or putting them under the recess tabs to mount it in. Definitely handy. Definitely handy. You know, for $3-4, a lot cheaper than Bunnings, and they do the job. So you can never have enough washers. I'll just cut through that plastic there. Right, what's behind door number 22.4? Dun, 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 dun. More nutserts. So if they're M10, these will be M8. You know, I really do go through quite a lot. M6. Okay, so these are 2-part plugs. These ones here have a Christmas tree effect where they go in and they've got little barbs to keep them in. These ones here are more of a wall plug type, where you put it in the hole and then you push the center plug in and it expands at the back. Commonly used throughout automotive trimmings and places. Ooh, we've got a bag in a bag. It's like pass the parcel. Okay, now these bad boys. I have to show you these. These, I bought a bag. We thought we'd try them. We were happy with them, so I bought more of them. Okay, so there, we've got the sizes on them. 3F15, minus 27, minus 2, minus 3. Okay, they're basically for handle furniture. So when you're missing one of these for a handle furniture, round rows, or it's come loose and you've lost half of it, and you need, or one of the screws is bent when you're repairing a mortise lock, these little screws right here, I think they're M3. These little screws here are awesome. Phillips on one side, Phillips on the other side. You can cut it to size, multiple lengths. That length there, that's got to be 60 mil, even maybe might even be 70. So you've got all these different adjustments here. But what this does is the head of the screw is so small that it allows you to use them on mortise lock round furniture. which is perfect. Sometimes you need to bolt straight through, and these screws do that nicely. So to have them in your toolkit is awesome, and when you need them, and there's not a lot else you can do. So you get a bag, they're shear off, they're cut off, they work good. So just the sort of magic screws you have in your toolbox when things go wrong. Screws like that. All right, what do we got? Oh, the music hasn't stopped, but I'm still unwrapping. Okay, these ones. All right, so what these are for is for automotive once again. You've got your M10 on the top, you've got your posi drive, and then you've got a screw, well, I couldn't measure it. These ones are slightly fatter because what I noticed is with Toyota is they're using fatter screws around the body. So for a mud flap or for a door card or somewhere, you'll find that your standard ones aren't sort of fat enough. So I had to buy bigger ones. The good thing about these is they come with the washer already built on, and on top of that, they've got the posi drive. Now, if that posi drive goes amiss, no problems. You can start to use M10 socket on the top. So they're awesome little screws to have in your kit. And I'm building up my automotive kit, so when I pull something apart and I'm missing a screw or the screws are wrecked, I can replace them. Okay, LED light bulbs. Now, I did do a video on this. These are for the next van I'm building. I'm going to upgrade them to LED, and I did show you how bright these were. And yeah, they were bright, so I bought more. Oh, okay. Now, one of the downsides with this new Toyota Hiace is that I didn't have enough USBs. I've got enough of the 12-volt plug-in type, but I've decided to add another one. These are really good because you simply drill a 20mm hole, you tighten it from the back, you put your positive and negative on there with a fuse, you've got C and you've got USB sort of standard, and I believe that's a 2 amp. So small, but yet so handy. And with mobile phones and things, with all the it's better just to put in an extra USB rather than have cables running all over your dash. Okay, I know exactly what these are. So these are gloves. Now, a lot of the time the gloves you purchase from Temu, they say black mechanical gloves, but they're not. They're just thin, like medical gloves. So let's have a look. And every time I do an oil change, I use like two sets. So every time I basically do anything on a car, I put on a set of gloves so I don't get oil and grease all over my hands. And the downside to that is that they cost money. So, 50 cents, $1 for a set. And the box is a bit ordinary. Let's have a look at the quality. Yeah, okay. They're not the really thick ones you'd buy at super cheap. They're more of the next grade down. So they're in between a medical grade and the thick ones. So passable and very disposable. So that's cool. You get what you pay for, and that's what I pay for. All right, more light bulbs. Okay, why did I get more light bulbs? A lot of these light bulbs here are suitable for the internal of the cabin, if you can see them there. All of the lights in the new van, as standard from Toyota, they're just too dim. You're getting hardly enough to read a map from the map light. So because they've already got the internal settings, you've got to use light bulbs which are suited for the wiring. Now the light bulbs that are in there are like 5-watt light bulbs, so I can't exactly start sticking in a 10-watt LED light bar or anything on them because it's going to be drawing too much current, heating up the wiring. So you're better off sticking with the standard of what it is. Now a lot of these little ones here, they're chewing 2 to 3 watt if you're lucky. So you're well under that power draw limit you've got on your cabling of your size of your cabling, so you're not going to heat up or cause any troubles. There's a couple of old fittings there as well, but the kit was so cheap, it's like $10 you get the whole lot, and you've got a lot of internals there, a few of the map ones, so why not? It's a bargain. Alright, stainless steel nuts. Let's talk about these. Once again, I'm building up my toolkits. If you lose a nut or you need a nut, it's hard to get. These bolts come with a nut. Better than that, they come with a spring washer and they come with another washer. So they're really suited for automotive. And the sizes in that, we've got M4 all the way up to about M6, I think, and 40 pieces, These are very commonly used around automotive because they've got the spring washer in them. Spring washers are a washer when squished together, prevent the nut from coming loose when it's vibrating because it's under pressure and it's got that spring. So basically a washer that's cut on one side, and as it's squished down, it holds it from releasing. The washer underneath, already built into the nut, is very good because it gives you a nice big solid big platform as compared with whatever surface you're on. So these automotive nuts, once again, pretty cool, awesome, and really good. Okay, I think this is another USB. It's good to have USB in the back of the van, and when I'm building this new van, I will be putting this one in. This is a new design I saw. So this is like a surface mounted one. It's got a little on and off. That feels okay. And it's got a little flap here, I think. There we go. 2 USB ports. 5 volt 1 amp, 5 volt 2.1 amp. And that's just a surface mount. You could actually cut it out. Looks like 50 by about 30. So you could cut out a square and recess it from the back, or you could just surface mount it. And it comes with a nice little cover to protect the screws, or cover the screws. So that's not bad. $5, you can't go wrong. More bolts. Obviously I was short on a bolt for a job, and it was annoying. Yep, more automotive bolts. Basically hexagon on the top, metal screw thread on the bottom, but fatter with a big washer. So automotive bolts. More automotive bolts. I did this with light bulbs last time. So these are metal thread with the spring washer. No spring washer, with a built-in washer. So, more trimming. Alright, red ones this time for the brake lights. Indicators, more LEDs. Ooh, Locktite. Now this stuff is really good. This is a bigger bottle of it. This is used to paint the threads on a bolt, or anything you don't want undoing. You could use it on screws too, but generally it's for bolts. Bolts and screws that you don't want to undo. You put this blue Loctite on and it prevents it from wiggling or vibrating loose. Commonly used in automotive, definitely used in locksmithing, especially with some of our smaller cam screws or cylinder screws, where if it comes loose it's going to be mission critical. So I bought a big bottle because it's cheap as. A little tiny bottle from the proper Loctite people is probably about, I don't know, $15. This one here would have cost me about half that, and it's jumbo size. Definitely recommended for locksmiths when we do our cam screws, and definitely recommended on automotive. Anything that's automotive, you put this stuff on, you know you're good to go. Don't use the red one. The red one's only for permanent. Trying to remove screws that have the red one on can lead you to wrecking the head of the screws and things like that. So the blue is the way to go. Enough glue to hold it on, but not enough to get you into trouble. What have we got today? Okay, so we have this type 12 volt fitting on the Toyota. We have it in 2 places, and if I want to just break out any USB I can. I've got multiple USBs there. And what have we got here? We've got one that's called Super SCP 3.0, 3.1 amp, 3.1 amp, and PD, which are like the new Samsung C-type. So if I want, I can just plug that in. Look, they're so cheap. If you need it, if you want to run power and all your USBs are taken. Okay, and we've already looked at this. This is another one of those USB flat mounted, which I'll be using in the back of the van. So you've got to have them. Is that it? Are we done? Are we done? I think we're done for this week. All right. So, of course, I'll give you an update on the shoes. The nuts and bolts, there's a few there that you might want to add to your toolkit. For the locksmiths, I'd be saying Locktite's a bargain. For the locksmiths as well, adapting one of these to your, in the cabin of your car is well worth it. Once again, the light bulbs, these indicators and the brake lights, they do stand out. They're a lot brighter, and when you're braking, you're going to get people, really notice your brake lights, so hopefully they'll stay off the back of you. And when you're indicating, hopefully they give way when the light is a little bit more obnoxious and a little bit brighter. I've used them on different cars and I found that to be the case, so yeah, I definitely recommend them. As for interior, yes, they're good. I've used them multiple places. The shoes we'll have to find out, but being steel cap, at least you can take them on any job site, and you're okay with steel caps. Steel caps being metal inside the shoe that protects the toes, making it safe to use them on job sites and places like that which require steel cap shoes. They've gone from steel cap boots to now steel cap shoes. These ones here, we won't do a follow-up video. If you want to know about nutserts, I did do a video on installing a window mesh and a rear window mesh, and where I used these, and I did kind of show you how to use them. Other people have shown it to death, so there's no point there. And the gloves, they're gloves. This one here, this tool here for this nutsert, that'll be, I'll have to see how that goes. But for locksmiths, yeah, these screws here are definite. Definitely need them for your toolbox. The washers, all 3 sizes, definitely worth that. Look, if you're running a workshop with 2 or 3 vans, you buy a bag like this for $5, $6. split it between your trucks, and when they need it, it'll help them out. A lot of the time we use washers to lift things up, pack things out, to lower surfaces, all sorts of things. And you buy like just a small pack and it's like $10 from Bunnings. So better off just buying them in bulk and then splitting them between your vans, and it's more economical. All right, leave your comments down below. Also, these things here are pretty cool. Now I've installed them, I've used them a few times. I'm liking my bonnet hydraulic struts. They work good and they do exactly what they're meant to do, and they're only cheap, $50. So leave it down in the description if you would purchase any of these, or if you've purchased any of these you like, you don't like, or if you've got any comments. Thanks for watching.